Betsy and Thomas, thank you for joining us at the 11th Annual Bentonville Film Festival. We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you.
For the viewing audience at home, would you please tell them a little bit about Adult Children?
It's a family dramedy of sorts,
yes.
You know, but that's sort of limiting. We like to think of it in terms of like those great old John Hughes movies from the 80s and 90s, like without the accidental misogyny.
You know, I don't know if it was accidental.
I don't know. That was accidentally. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Different time.
But you know, where you kind of come out at the end of the movie having laughed, having had your heart warmed, and frankly, like wanting to call your siblings and bust their chops.
You feel understood. You're like, oh my gosh, my family's not the only family with a bunch of, let's say, stuff, because I don't know where you're going to send this to. My mommy taught me to speak nicely, which I sometimes do, and sometimes I don't.
Sometimes you don't.
But it's so relatable. I'm the youngest of four, and I'm very comfortable in this situation, and it was just with such a great group, and the writing is so good, and it was just a dream.
Yeah.
And how did the two of you connect or get involved with the piece?
We played siblings for 4 years on CBS on Life in Pieces, and had a debut time. And then we just got really close. And so when this came up, we were really happy to do this together.
Yeah, I've been dear friends with Annika Marks, who wrote it, and her husband, Rich Newey, who directed it for a long time. And Ani reached out and said, hey, I wrote this script about my family. It's loosely autobiographical. You would be playing my brother. What do you think? You want to take a look at it? And I was like, absolutely. I took a look at it. Before I had even finished like half of the script, I was like, I'm in. I also have some really great ideas for a cast. Like, I feel like we can put together an incredible group. And Betsy was like the first name that jumped off of our list. We were all like really, we knew that for the older sister / mother adjacent, there was only one person that we wanted to go to, and she brings so much to it. Like you just know that character from the instant she opens her mouth, and that's one of the things that I love so much about Betsy as an actress, and one of the things that made it so important to bring her on was, you know, as an audience member, not only are you feel safe and you're in good hands with her as a performer, but like the line of communication is so clear, and like the shared humanity is so clear. Like, you know that character instantaneously, and she's done it with everything she's ever done. And we knew that, you know, it was exactly what she was going to do with this. And then from there, we just took off with it. It was an embarrassment of riches. We basically said, like, let's find the best people that we can find, the people who fulfill that in every conceivable area of this movie for every one of these characters. And we got our first choices on everybody.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Like, we were really pretty lucky.
But we also had that lightning in a bottle thing where everyone just really fit together.
Yeah.
It just was kind of instantly easy.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, you and I, like, listen, we've played siblings, we've done other projects together. Like, but everybody else, I don't even know how it happened. It just did, and I think really comes across on screen.
No, we felt like a family, and it sort of continued to behave like it subsequently.
Oh,
like
still is now. Like, Mimi and I flew in together yesterday, and she's like, it's great.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, we all had breakfast this morning. It was, you know, it's been it's nonstop since we finished.
There's a lot of love, and it's easy, and it's really fun.
Yeah.
And you mentioned earlier you were the youngest of four. Did you pull anything from your own oldest sibling to pull into the role to be the oldest sibling here?
It's funny because in my family, that's not the role I played. I honestly was on the phone with my sister, who's, I can't say how much older she is than me because she would be mad if she ever saw this, but
she was born prior to you, and we'll leave it at that.
Definitely. And we laugh so hard, and then we also, you know, there are times where, like, there still is a little bit of that role, because there was enough of an age difference that things I maybe would have gone to my mom, I went to her, because again, that age, there was, in just the different roles. We know the people outside.
Oh yeah, there's our writer.
Big fans. And so but the dynamic, and then this, and I love this, and this is true to this day, and I know I'm not the only one to feel this way, and I don't care how many siblings you have and what the relationship is. However long you've been apart, you don't live by each other, when you come back together, whatever age, you go back to those roles. When you were, for better or for worse, you go back to them. And there's a lot of beauty in that, and there's a lot of like head-banging frustration in that, and then sometimes some pain in that too. And that is one of the things that just drew me to this movie, this character, all of it. I find that fascinating.
And what about you having to play someone working through some addiction issues? How did you pull that in?
Yeah, I'll not say that was unfamiliar territory for me. That was one of the things that when we first started talking about doing this together, we being Ani and Rich and myself, started talking about doing this together, we wanted to be really clear about how we were going to go about doing it. You know what I mean? That this is not something that is unfamiliar to most families. And we also didn't want to fall into any of the sort of tropes, the extreme tropes of what is actually a reality for some people, but actually in some ways the more common reality is the depth of heartbreak that comes from a fully functional addict who is, active, and that constant chaos that's not totally devastating in a one-shot go, but that is that constant sort of like low-level degree of stress, anxiety, chaos that goes along with all of it. So it was something that we wanted to be really clear about, we wanted to be really honest about, we wanted to be really gentle with, and we wanted to be really respectful with. And, and this, like I said, this is somewhat of an autobiographical story from Monica's perspective. It's somewhat of an autobiographical story from my perspective. I think that part of what makes this movie relatable to the audience is that it was relatable to us.
Yeah.
Like we as actors and as artists who are bringing this story to life could very much relate to a lot of the stuff that we were living through on that set. And that was part of it for me too.
And I think one thing I found beautiful that everybody on the cast was doing, of course, you've got the 3 siblings, a pause, a 4th sibling.
Yeah.
When you were relating to the 4th sibling, there were moments where it was definitely, okay, I'm kind of like a pseudo-parent.
Yeah.
But then there were other moments where you're like, no, wait, she's old enough. Let's treat her like an equal.
Yeah.
And that's something that doesn't always get shown in some of these pieces, and it was beautiful how you all did that.
Thank you. I think that just happened naturally with Ella.
Yeah.
Like that's frankly how we all relate to Ella.
Yep.
In real life, like it's at any given moment we're sort of teetering on the edge of, oh my God, you're such a puppy.
She's so cute.
So sweet and young,
so
and
cute.
like all of these amazing things are getting ready to happen for you in this industry. We want to be there to help you and understand all this stuff. And then 10 minutes later, you're like throwing your arm around her, like, come on, bud, like let's go to the bar. And it's great. Like she made herself available for that, and we all just fell naturally into it. It is a very human and very relatable and very honest part of the story of siblings, particularly intergenerational, and multi-generational families like that. Yeah. And I'm really proud of how it came across, because you're not the first person who has said, I know that feeling. I know that feeling so well.
She also, her character has for whatever reason, if it's age difference but when you feel like you don't fit in, you're not as much of a part of your family as some of the other members of your family, or whatever it is, whatever group that is so intimate or meaningful to you, that you're like a little imposter syndrome, right? And they're also, and some of this is written in, and some of it just happened, is that they give that to her because they know she needs it. and she wants it. It develops, naturally, but it also like they know they get that in her.
Yeah.
And it's really
the way they like you. Nobody knows you better than your siblings.
Yeah.
Your
Oh my
parents
God.
don't know you as well as your siblings. Nobody knows you as well as your siblings. Your spouse, nothing, because they've seen you literally at the best and worst.
Yep.
And that's, even if you have a huge age gap, there is something inherent in that knowledge that
Yeah.
that just happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at you, right?
I know. I'm like, yeah.
And then with your character, there's
Yeah, it's more about her.
Some of the issues that I, of course, see with you get to the point where, you've done the schooling, you've got the job, you've got the marriage, you've got the kids, and then what happens to you as a person?
Yeah.
And your character's coming to that full circle of
Yeah.
being a fully defined person separate from all of that.
Yep.
But also still supporting the family and getting the support from the family.
Yeah.
How did you decide to pull that?
This was also, I didn't know it at the time, but it turned out this was somewhat autobiographical for me too. Not all of it, but some of it. And you handle something like that. Sorry, this is, you do something when you're ready to do it. And just like Tommy said, like the people that are so important to you, because whatever that sibling relationship with, and I know there are exceptions to this, but for me, it's like that's who you go back to when you are going through something like that. That is, ultimately can be one of the hardest things a person ever has to deal with. And it's that you, and they have this, like, they know they're going to be there. My God, like I don't want to give anything away, but there's a, moment which, when I say this, you'll probably recognize. Lisa, or her siblings show up. She doesn't expect them to be there, but I think she hopes that they might, but it's like, no, it'd be crazy. And then she comes out of that waiting room and they're all there. Because they knew, and it is, there's so much that relationship bought us in telling this story and allowed us to do and share. And it really, I have to say, Annika Marks, our writer, I'm like, how did you know about my life before I even knew about it? But she did. And I already knew her, and we were friends, but this was like next level. I don't, and it's an amazing time. And like, that's like, your siblings go, you go through different things at different times. You share similar situations, and then some of it's really different, and you're through it you're thick and thin. You're through all of it with one another.
Well, how was it finding out that this film was accepted at the Bentonville Film Festival?
Oh man, this was, when we sort of put together our list of places that we were going to submit to, we felt like, in terms of the festivals that we wanted to be a part of, that we thought was going to be like the best place to launch a film like this, which is frankly an utterly relatable crowd pleaser.
And a true indie film.
And a true indie film.
Yeah.
There are almost no festivals that in existence right now that sort of exceed what this festival is capable of doing in terms of programming, support, and the degree of seriousness and prestige that this festival has is off the charts. So it was like a pie in the sky sort of dream. Like, we knew that we had made a good movie. We believed in it. We didn't know that anybody else was going to believe in it. But when Bentonville called and said, we believe in it, we want to make it part of our programming, we want you guys in competition, we're going to put you in the big theater, the whole thing, like, it just, I think we started bouncing off the walls and thought, like, wait a minute, man, like, maybe all of that, all of the hustle is coming to something really magical, like coming to a point where it's all gonna be real, and no matter what happens from here, we get to have this moment at this festival together. And this festival has been nothing but brilliant with us. They've been so unbelievably supportive and kind and lovely. It's just it's been heartwarming and inspiring, and we're traveling on from here to go to some other places, but this will always be our world premiere, and it'll always be the place that's first and closest to our heart, because frankly it was the first place that said we're willing to take the risk on you guys and we believe in you.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you both so much for spending time with me today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, you're wonderful. Thank you.
And thank you. Anyone that wants to follow what's happening with adult children, what is the best way to do that?
That's a good question. I know we have social media, but I'm not on social media, so I don't really know.
But you could put in adult children and find us.
I think it's adult children movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
should anyone see this before tonight, we have a few tickets left for because we're in the big theater. I mean, we've got a nice group, but it's we'd love to have some people walk in.
We can't wait for people to see this.
Yeah, I want it to
no
be
matter where
packed.
you are, at any point. So yeah.
Anybody that has a family can get something out of this.
Oh, agreed. 100%. This is definitely a movie. It's not a family movie in the sense that you bring your kids to it. It's a family movie in the sense that you go and you leave, and the first thing that you want to do is call your siblings and make fun of them.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and may tonight be everything you want.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.